Okay, guys, welcome back to another day of Sideways. Um, kind of like I expected to happen here. We had a nice little short squeeze here. The only thing about it is it was a quite manipulated squeeze. It happened during the BitMEX downtime, as we all know, and yeah, like I said, it went nuts there for a little while. And I mean, if you can look at the wick here, we had a really nice pullback off that MA. But the actual Coinbase price didn't even break 69. I think it was 68 something, 6,900. So we can see that was a quite a manipulated pump there, and then it came back. I tried to get in short for the fund right away at 7,100. I tried a bunch of times, probably 20 times in a row, but the overload wouldn't let me in, and I'm sure it didn't let anybody out either. And that's kind of what we've seen happen there. And now we've retraced all the way back to this sideways line again. I was going to make a call on it, but, after the manipulation, with just the way it looked, just didn't look safe. Who knew what was going to happen? I mean, it was a gamble, 50-50. And, if you guys know me, I'm not too big on the 50-50 gamble. So that's kind of the idea that happened there. This is the 4-hour chart. Like I said, it did go to that 71, 72 area like we spoke about yesterday. But, the big plan, like I said yesterday, was to worry about today. And for tomorrow's decision. So I actually got a little extra rest last night so I can stay up all night waiting for this to happen. So we're planning on shorting it. I don't see any way it's going to be approved at this point, like we talked about yesterday as well. So what I'm seeing here is it's looking like, I mean, again, we're just going to kind of hang out in this sideways zone until we get a decision. So I'm thinking that short somewhere between 65 and 66 area is probably where I'm going to set my shorts. We may see a little bit of a run back here, especially on the shorter time frames. On the 1 hour, it's quite oversold. So I think maybe waiting just a little while for a short somewhere around 65, 66, I think is where we're going to want to enter. I will make this call here in just a little while. I just want to watch it just a little bit more here and make sure, but I'm thinking for sure we're going to have us a little run up here. I don't know how much. That's why I'm just going to kind of set up some shorts, and we'll go from there at the resistance line again. So the TD count is telling us that we're having an 8 here. So and we're also bouncing again, off that 200 MA. On the 1 hour. It's just been acting as support the entire time. We talked about that yesterday as well. So I do expect a little bit of a move up. I'm not sure. Again, like I said, I'm not sure how much. I think maybe to the 65, maybe 66 area. But it's a risky long, so I'm just going to go ahead and set shorts there. And, let's see if we can get them filled today for tomorrow. And we'll kind of go from there. So that's kind of the idea there. If you go back to the 1 day, same thing on the 1 day. I mean, the candle obviously went up, tested the 100 MA and the 50 MA on the daily, kind of broke through for a second, but got pushed back down. Now we see this really long upper shadow here. Which is a very bearish sign, especially when you're looking at this as pretty much a perfect bull flag. Also, if you really look at it, I mean, the head and shoulders here, the more longer term head and shoulders here is starting to basically kind of show its head here and play out. So that's something that I'm going to be watching. That's kind of why I feel this short. Regardless of the ETA or the ETF, looks like it's probably going to be a pretty good one here. So just want to see if we can get back to that 65, 66 area for a short. That's kind of where I want to short at. So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Obviously, with the ETF, you know, anything can happen here. It seems like it's, like I said, again, going to be denied. So, you know, the one thing is, you know, this was so manipulated. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, it still got me stumped at how BitMEX pulled this one off. I mean, it was pretty nasty. Everybody got locked in, and the whales took advantage. I mean, it was pretty scandalous. And now we're back, literally back to where we started at yesterday when we had this call. I mean, there's nothing different about it. So just keep in mind that, you know, I wanted to make a call on this, but it's just not, to me, it's just not something that we should have risked. I mean, yeah, some people made some money on a good short there, but you never know there. I mean, it looked like it was painting a nice little bull flag, and, you know, then it just drops off a map. So it could have really went either way. Maybe even went back up to retest that area. But I don't think BitMEX let anybody get any shorts in up there. So, I mean, I tried, and they didn't work. So, I mean, I don't know what happened between here and here, but they sure liquidated a lot of longs this morning as well. So, I mean, it's just so manipulated right now that it's just so risky. I mean, I know we all like money, but I don't like losing it like you easily could have today. So we'll just keep an eye on that and kind of go from there. But like I said, that's kind of the outlook again. I mean, there's not really much to go over today. It's really the exact same thing. Nothing, you know, nice manipulation squeeze like we talked about happening yesterday, and then now it's back to the same thing. So if you guys have any questions, for some reason I'm not getting the chat up on my screen. I don't know why, but it's not popping up. So if you have any questions you want me to go over, anything along those lines, please just write me on Telegram right now if you want. Just PM me. I'm looking at it, so I have it up, and I can definitely answer some questions for you guys. But like I was saying, it's just, man, it was just a sketchy day yesterday. We kind of seen it coming. We all talked about it, and then you know, I actually want to hear some of your guys' thoughts on how that all played out. I mean, it's pretty wild. I mean, I haven't seen a manipulation squeeze like that in a while. So, excuse me, guys, getting a drink there. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. We need to be careful for the retest. I mean, there is a possibility that there's a retest. Let me go back to the 4 hour here. You know, it's bouncing back here off of, you know, kind of off the cloud support again. But, you know, as we go back through here, usually when it bounces off cloud support, it doesn't hang there very long after testing the top. So, you know, it's just really hard to tell what's going to happen, because we kind of pop through an inverse head and shoulders here that, you know, you can kind of make out. You know, it's not your traditional, you know, head and shoulders, but it's close. So, you know, the pop there was kind of expected for a short squeeze, like we said, but I mean, nobody's seen it happen in the way that it did. I mean, it retraced more than half of the wick in the same hour, all with BitMEX going down and trying to come back up. And as you can see, how BitMEX's volume can control so much of what the price does. But what was scary about it is how, you know, the actual price on, you know, the Coinbase price. Let me pull up the Coinbase chart here. I mean, the Coinbase chart went to 68.91. That's as high as Bitcoin actually went. And then, you know, obviously BitMEX went to 71.48, almost 71.50. We almost got to that 7,200 mark. As soon as BitMEX went live, this thing hit 72 and came back down within minutes. It was crazy. So, I mean, good manipulation on BitMEX's part. They definitely liquidated the shorts they wanted to. I don't think they got them all, but they did get some of them for sure. So outside of that, I did look up some ETF news this morning, and let me see here. Let me pull it on up. So, you know, the crypto markets, I mean, it looked like it was ready for a breakout. I mean, obviously you start seeing this happening, but a lot of people don't realize that, you know, depending on what you do, like, I mean, for us anyway, we watch a lot of BitMEX. So, you know, so most people were reacting to, oh man, Coinbase is blowing up here, or, you know, Binance's price is all the way up to here. And, you know, BitMEX goes live and you're looking at BitMEX and you're just, this is not gonna hold up. There's no way it's gonna hold up with that much of a jump over. I mean, $300 or so up over the price is just crazy. You don't see that very often on the perpetual contract. You just don't. So with that type of manipulation, that's why we stayed out. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit on that there, but again, it's just bouncing off the MAs. We're just playing around in that channel there. This is the 4-hour chart. Let's go back to the 1 hour. No, 1 hour. Go back to the 1 day here. So if we zoom back out here on the 1 day, you know, the head and shoulders is definitely starting to come to fruition here. It's really starting to look like that's what's going to happen. So I think that's the idea. I think we short 65 to 6,600 area. You know, the TSI is kind of at a neutral stage. It's hitting that center line. We should see a little bit of a rejection there. You know, but it's still kind of bullish. That's what's scary about it. You know, we still have that bullish crossover, even with the, you know, the very strong pullback. It doesn't seem to be. Here, let me make this a little bit bigger here so I can see it. That's the wrong one. So, you know, when you look at this, it doesn't really show much in that dip when it came back. So, we're still hanging here with the lighter green or the lighter blue bars, which is still kind of considering it's going up. So, you know, there is a possibility for a retest back up to that same area, that 71 to 72 area. But I mean, after that rejection there, I don't feel it's going to happen. The order book doesn't hold much weight to me. And usually when I see it super stacked like this, it tends to go the other way. Just like, I mean, yesterday we were talking about it, me and one of my colleagues, you know, there was 400, 500, 600 BTC sell walls over here off of on Coinbase, and you know, it's a matter of seconds and they're gone. So, you know, it doesn't hold much weight, but you know, if you really look at it, it kind of looks like it's at an even fight right now. It's hard to tell. You know, maybe these big, huge walls could come to fruition, but you know, this is just a gamble, something I look at every once in a while. So it is pretty stacked against the sales right now. So we could, like I said, we should see some type of a little bit of a run up either way. Like I said, just 65, 6,600 range is kind of my idea. But, you know, it's kind of hard to tell because we had the fake out down the other day, and now we have the fake out up. Let's go back to TD. It's better for it there. But let's go back to the 1 hour. And when we check out the 1 hour again, I mean, it's just, you know, fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out. You know, for our fund anyway, outside of VIP, this is just not safe trading. you know, it's a guess either way. You know, so it seems like it comes back to here, and then, you know, it should drop off a little bit more, or come back up. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's a guessing game. So that's kind of the ideas behind it. It doesn't really know what it wants to do. It's been very undecisive. It looks like we're painting a, you know, another fall, basically, is what it looks like to me. I think there's a strong possibility that we fall again before we go up as well. So, I mean, it's hard to tell. The MACD here on the, let me double check in here, on the 1 hour starting to turn. So you may see a little run up, but it could also reject off itself and keep coming down. But the TSI is, you know, it's definitely oversold. So we should see some type of a run back. Yeah, I mean, we could see another rejection here, come back down a bit, but I think it's going to come up just a bit. So that's, like I said, let's stick with our plan here. Shorten it from the 65 to 6,600 range is kind of the idea. I think that's a good place to start. So we'll try that out. I think that's the call for now. But again, like I said, we have the ETF decision. Usually they drop it pretty early in the morning, Eastern time in the United States, which from here is probably about, well, it's almost 2 o'clock. So 24 hours would be noon my time. So about then, you know, maybe 20 hours from now, we should have that decision. So I will be up pretty much all night tonight, throughout the morning for this one. I told you guys last night, or actually told you in the chat, if you can find a way to stay up and be ready for it, I would definitely do that, because there's a good chance that we fall hard here through 6,000. So I mean, there's a really good opportunity here, and that's why I'm looking at setting up these shorts now, so that we can get back at it, and start making some money here. If you look at the 1 day I had for 1 day here, let's see. Let me get rid of this here. Let's get rid of that one too. Oops. All right, well, let's just draw it up here again. Again, like I was telling you yesterday, when you look at the fibs, so let's draw up a fib here real fast. That jump, this is on the Coinbase chart. I need to go back to our chart to kind of see where it broke all the way through that 5 level. But if you look at the Coinbase level, it stopped right at the MAs and that dead cat level, like we talked about yesterday. That's what happened on Coinbase, so that seemed pretty realistic. It also went right to the bottom of the cloud. We were thinking, you know, the 7,200 was possible, just because it's, you know, kind of a half retrace of the entire fall. Not only that, but that's kind of where the cloud resistance was at. So then if you jump over to the Coinbase chart, or to the BitMEX chart, and we draw the same lines, and we got that 05 hit right at 72 area. You know, we didn't quite get there, but we got close. Again, with a really, really bearish candle here. Everything's kind of pointing to a good short, about 65, 66 in my eyes. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But that's kind of the idea behind it. So that's where I'm at with it. I truly believe that the ETF is going to be denied, so we need to be prepared for that. We will have like I said, it's a great shorting opportunity. I think we still need to short, even with this pullback. I mean, it's just a fake out. It holds no weight in what happened here. So, you know, we did get up there. We liquidated all the shorts. Now I think it's time for us to just keep falling. So that's my outlook. Let's see if that's what plays out. So that's basically the idea behind it. I think that that's where we're going. That's where we're headed. We're headed down. That's the plan behind my ideas here. I think that we will easily test the 6K mark. Depending on what happens with the ETF, we'll probably blow right through it. So let's just be prepared to short it tomorrow. I am going to go ahead and call this one a day. We're a little behind today. I had some stuff to deal with my baby boy. So it seems like the 1 o'clock hour is working out perfect. It worked out yesterday. It's working out today. So I think that's what we're going to do going forward. But we'll get around to it. We'll see what works best for us. But anyway, that's the plan. I hope you guys kind of feel and understand where I'm coming from with some of these trades. It just, you know, without being risky, you're not going to make anything. But with that being too risky, you can, you know, we can get ourselves in some deep crap real quick. So I think, like I said, 65 area to 66, I'm thinking is where we short. You know, we just kind of see what happens and go from there. I think that's the good idea. I'm going to set up some shorts there, and we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it plays out. But that's what I'm thinking. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we will get back at it tomorrow. Again, probably about 1 o'clock. These videos are always saved and thrown on the site. So, I mean, if you miss them, you can always catch them. We will try to get back on tomorrow. We're going to have a big day tomorrow with, you know, obviously with the news and what's going on. So I may even do this video right after we get a decision. So we'll see. I'll keep it posted in the chat with what the decisions will be. But yeah, we'll probably do it right after the decision. We'll see where this goes. But I'm guessing that we're going to definitely probably fall. So keep that in mind. You guys can tell that's where I'm at. I think we short this bad boy down to the same area we were talking about on the 1 day. Show you that real quick before we get out of here. But I still think that this G wave should correct somewhere around the 5,500 area. So you know, I think once we get there, then we can, you know, start thinking for a good retrace back to the, you know, somewhere in the maybe 7,000 or 7,400 range. But you know, I think we still need to come all the way down here, and then again we'll test another breakout maybe here in the next month or so. Probably when the CBOE decision starts to loom, I think that's when we'll start to see our pullback for, you know, people thinking it's going to be accepted or hoping it's going to be accepted sometime over here in this area of mid-September. So we'll see. You know, it's kind of a waiting game at the moment. Crypto's gotten kind of boring the last, you know, week and a half or so. So let's see what we can figure out here. But we will be back tomorrow. And you guys have a good day. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye.